everybody, it's Ryan from MyAfterSchoolToys.com with this week's toy review, and we are talking about the Radio Shack Armatron. And we don't actually have a date on this. There's no date on the box, there's no date on the instructions, and really no date on Wikipedia either. All we know is it's from the 1980s, and judging around my childhood, it's mid-1980s. So I'm just going to kind of go from there, although Radio Shack is known to carry products for a long time, so it could be even earlier than that. We're going to look at the box, we're going to look at the Armatron itself, and talk about some of its features. Now, as a kid growing up, Radio Shack, it was kind of like the mecca of robots for me. Always wanted an Armatron as a kid, and I never got one, so totally geeked out to have one now. What the Armatron was just a robotic arm that you could manipulate to pick things up and move them around. And we all know that the 80s is known for having a huge robot boom, especially for Japanese robots. And Armatron was no different. It came from a Japanese manufacturer, and it was sold here in the States. So here on the box you can see a couple boys using the Armatron to pick up this little cylinder, and we'll get to see that in action in just a second. And then on the side here, it talks about some of the things you can do. It's funny because it actually says you can use the Armatron to execute hazardous scientific experiments in your laboratory, which I think is kind of cool. And here's one where a little vial's being poured in. You could use it to move chess pieces or put coins in cups, pour creamer in your coffee. And then on the side here, it just kind of shows you what it came with. And then on the other side, it kind of tells you the features here. And it had a lot of areas of articulation. You could rotate it, move it up and down, side to side, different degrees. And it's all worked on joysticks, which of course is a staple of the 80s. We love joysticks. So, we are going to open this up and play with the Armatron. Alright, so here's the Radio Shack Tandy Armatron out of the box. Some things really quick to point out on it. There is an energy level sign right here that you can reset with this button. And what would happen is the time would run out, and if you got to the end before you manipulated all these items here, then you would lose the game. And each item was worth different points. Some were worth 2, some were worth 5, and so on. And this little set of manipulatives right here actually came with a plastic box on it. And it had 2 of these pillars, I only have 1, and a couple rubber balls, and then these things. And in theory, you could stack them and make like a little electrical pillar. It was really cool. Wish I had the other parts, but I probably can eBay those later. So here we go. I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to see if we can pick something up here. I'm going to scoot it back just a bit. And this arm moved it, like this. Alright, so we're going to move it over. Turn this knob, and it opens and closes and rotates. Let's see if we can rotate the arm here. Just like that. I know it's very noisy. Rotate it the other way. Okay, we're going to see if we can pick up this item here. Get it a little closer so at least it's in reach. We'll open that up. And it is tricky, let me tell you. This game was no joke. See if I can at least reach it. Alright. May have to move this forward because of the camera setting, it's not going to reach. There we go. And then you had to close the arm on the item like this, and then pick it up. And then you could bring it around and set it down. Just like that. Rotate it just a bit. And let it go. Oops. It's very tricky. You can work on this thing for a long time. Alright, so that is basically how it functioned, and you could do all kinds of fun stuff with it. Get it to rotate around. It's very, very cool. I love this thing. I could spend hours doing it. So there you go. The Radio Shack Tandy Armatron. Again, not really sure when this was. I think it's early 80s sometime, but I definitely remember from my childhood, and I think Radio Shack carried it for a while. There's been some different versions of this out there that you can get, but this one, to me, is the original. So this is the Radio Shack Armatron. Hope you enjoyed the review today. This is an interesting one for sure, and we'll have more on the way. Check us out at our website at myafterschooltoys.com, and as always, until next time, long live the 80s.